Hey everybody, welcome to July. This is our first video for the week of July curriculum. Maybe it might still be the last day of June, but we are getting started on the July curriculum. This is the Monday, Tuesday video for week 1 of July curriculum. Before we get going, I want you to get yourself warmed up. We got jumping jacks, push-ups, sit-ups, those pivot front ups, getting a nice stretch in your leg. 10 on each side, and then finish up with some mountain climbers or jogging with hindies, something that's going to get you warmed up and moving. So get yourself warmed up and we'll get going. Ready, set, go. All right, guys, so first thing we're going to go over today is learning inside blocks. Inside blocks are when someone is trying to punch right at our chin, and we don't want to get hit in the chin. So the first thing we need to do is make sure we're in a good ready stance with our hands up in front of our face. That way, if they do try to punch at our chin, they got to go between our hands first. And that makes our inside block that much easier to do because they're already passing between our hands. All we need to do, if their punch is coming right down the middle, snap our arm across, right, like this. And all that does is change that line of the punch to now coming off to this side of my face. Notice it's this small movement, okay? If that punch is coming down between my hands, I don't need to go like this and push it way over here, because then I'm just putting myself in a more dangerous position. If they pulled back and tried to punch me again, I'd have to swing my arm all the way back, and it's a mess. What you want to do is be as tight as possible, keeping those hands right here. Also, look how far away my hands are from my face. Right? If my hands are right here and this is all they've got to go to, then I've got this much space to hopefully catch that punch. But if my hands are way out here, they got to get between them, and it's going to make it a lot easier to redirect that punch away from my face. Okay, so inside blocks are just using the pinky side of the hand. All you do is snap the pinky in front. Your goal is to hit their forearm with your forearm, or wrist to wrist, right? You're not trying to hit their hand, but it's arm to arm, okay? And a little bit of power too. If you're blocking hard enough, it snaps and it's gonna hurt them a little bit too, okay? The idea is you block that punch and they think twice about throwing another punch, okay? So inside blocks, what I want you to do, if you have a partner or a helper at home, maybe it's a parent or a sibling, right? What I want them to do is while you're in your ready stance with your hands right here like this, I want the helper or partner to just do a nice slow punch right at your chin. They got to try and go between your hands. If your hands are down here, it's going to make it really easy for them to get to your chin, right? So you got to have your hands in good position. What you don't want to do is start going like this with your hands out here, right? Because this is horrible ready position. Your goal is to keep your hands right here. They got to try and punch right down the middle towards your chin, and you just block it off to the side as they try and come. So punchers, keep them nice and slow. It's the first day. Don't go any faster than this, but make sure that you're going straight towards the chin, because if you anticipate the block and start punching over here or punching down, then they can't practice a good block. So make sure you're going straight for the chin, not any faster than this, for them to just practice that small motion of pushing it out to the side. We're not going full power, full speed today, just getting used to that inside motion of the inside block. So have some fun with that. Ready, set, go. All right, so today we're going to learn a new stance. Maybe if you've been coming for a few months now, we've worked on this before, but today we are going to learn the straddle stance. Now, this stance is for building strength and balance. So it's not necessarily a self-defense stance like a ready stance would be. Straddle stance is to help build some strength and endurance and balance, and also gives you a chance to practice some determination, which just happens to be our word of the month. All right, so a straddle stance, some styles call this a horse stance, which makes sense because if you were to be riding a horse is a pretty big animal, right? And I'm not going to be riding a horse with my feet this close together, but I'm also not going to be riding a horse like this, okay? Unless you're little and it's a really big horse. But I want you to think about having your feet just about shoulder width apart. So if there was a straight line to the floor for my shoulders, my feet are just outside of that straight line down to the floor, okay? So I don't want to be too narrow. I don't want to be exactly shoulder width apart, but I also don't want to be like double shoulder width apart, just outside of shoulder width apart. So if your hands were hanging straight down, your feet are just outside that, okay? So that's where you want your feet to be. Now you want to make sure that your toes are pointed straight ahead. You don't want them turned out to the side, and you certainly don't want them turned in, okay? And then the next part is to bend your knees. You have to kind of stick your bottom out, otherwise you feel like you're gonna fall forward, okay? And when I go to bend my knees, I wanna make sure that my weight is in my heels. I don't wanna lean forward onto my toes and let my heels come off the floor, because that's really hard on your knees. That's gonna hurt your knees. So you want to be able to wiggle your toes, and then as you bend your knees, it's like maybe there's a chair that's just out of reach, and so you're kind of reaching for that chair behind you as you go down. Now notice my back is nice and straight. I'm not gonna hunch over like this, or, oh, that's cheating. Take your hands off your knees, right? So keeping your chest nice and tall, your back nice and straight, hands in actually a good ready position. All I'm gonna do is bend my knees and lower my bottom down. I don't have to go super low. We're not, going potty in the woods here. But you want to keep your weight in your heels, weight off of your toes, and just lower down right about here. And this is a great straddle stance. So if I turn and face you, I'm letting my knees go. I don't want my knees to come out. I don't want my knees to come in. Right? I want to keep my knees as straight above my feet as I can. And then I keep my hands in a good ready position like this and hold it for as long as I can, right? So our 1 minute of determination is something we're going to do every class this month. And the 1 minute of determination today is going to be holding your straddle stance for 1 whole minute. So I'll let your parents or your helper, or if you have a clock that you can see, just watch that 60-second hand go from the 12 all the way around to the 12 again, and that's 1 minute, okay? So hold that straddle stance for 1 minute of determination. Ready, set, go. All right, guys, next thing we're gonna go over today is our pivot front kick. Last month we did pivot rising front kick. Rising meaning that the kick is rising up to our target. This kick is not rising. This is pivot front kick. So front meaning that it's kicking straight out to the front. Instead of coming up and under to our target, it's pushing straight out to our target. Pivot means back leg. That means we get to do this kick with our back leg. I know a couple months ago we just did front kick where we were kicking with the front leg. Now it's pivot front kick. We get to kick with the back leg. This is the kick that has 4 parts. Chamber, kick, retract, back to balance. All right, so chamber first is bringing that knee up, using our back leg. My foot is flexed, nice and strong, ready to kick out, and I've got my knee nice and high, okay? So when you go for that chamber, knee up, foot is flexed. I'm not chambering back here like this, right? That would be like a soccer kick. We're not kicking a ball. We are actually gonna be aiming for the belly of the person that we're kicking, okay? So I need to get my knee up nice and high if I'm gonna get my foot out to the belly on that kick, okay? So we've got chamber, kick with the foot out, bottom of the foot is what's coming out, retract, bring it back where I started, to back to balance, okay? Again, those 4 parts, we've got chamber, kick, retract, back to balance, nice and slow, okay? So what I want you guys to do today is practice those 4 parts nice and slow so you can feel them, and make sure you have a good foot position. So if you have something to balance on, like hold the back of a chair or the couch, the counter, somebody's hand to help you balance, I want you to practice those 4 parts nice and slowly. Chamber, kick, retract, back to balance, just that slow. And I want you to do that 10 times. I really want you to feel those 4 parts, especially the chamber and retract, okay? A lot of kids get a really good chamber, they kick, and then they just kind of let their foot slide and fall down. And the point of the retract is so that when you do kick someone in the belly, they can't go like this and catch your foot. And a fast retract is going to help prevent that. If you just kick and let it drop, they have an easier chance of grabbing onto your foot and throwing you off balance. So I want you to practice 10 slow on each side, feeling all 4 parts, and that'll be it for those kicks today. Ready, set, go. All right, guys, so our word of the month for July is determination. You heard me mention it earlier when we were doing the straddle stance. So I'm just going to take you through the sheet really quick. Determination is a quality that makes you continue trying to do or achieve something that is difficult. It's very similar to perseverance that we tested on a couple months ago, not quitting even when it's hard or you make a mistake. Determination and perseverance are very similar things, and I love teaching those to you guys because it's really easy to want to just give up when things are hard. Okay, so there's 5 ways to show determination: learning to set goals and achieve them, trying and trying again until I succeed, learning from my mistakes and not repeating them, not complaining when things don't go my way. Oh, that sounds just like what we had last month on patience. And then number 5, following through with my commitments. All right, and our Bible verse is from 2 Timothy 4:7. I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. All right, so even when things get difficult and we go through hard times, we don't give up on trusting God and his plan for us. We keep that determination to believe and have faith in him. All right, so remember, you can get this sheet from our website, shepherdwarriormartialarts.com. There's a members tab that has a little drop down, and under character trait sheets, you click on that, scroll down to the bottom. Juniors are at the bottom, and you'll find it there. You can download it to your computer or device, and you can print it from home, print as many copies as you like, and that is what you need to be studying this month for July. Thanks, and have a great day.